All right, PICK-3 of the glass family. OPPB. Be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget. And how is everyone today? Happy hump day for everyone that's still out in the workforce. And, okay. So today what we're going to talk about is facts and fiction with winning PICK-3. I think, as everybody know by now, all I specialize is in PICK-3. Reason being is that it's trackable, teachable, and it's doable. We can track these 1,000 numbers and keep up with them and know um, why we're playing the numbers and greatly increase our chances of winning by tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. So I've been tracking the numbers for like 30 years, and I know without a doubt that those 1,000 numbers are random. Um, there's no grid, no root sum, no date sum, no tic-tac-toe, no multiple different rundowns. It's going to tell us what number is coming the next day. We're making winning the PICK-3 harder than what it needs to be because we're not tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. We're looking at the trees instead of looking at the forest. And the thing I found to be helpful to me was looking at all the 1,000 numbers where I could see what the actual number was doing, how the numbers fell, how the numbers was continuously rotating as a whole. Also, how to see what was going on with the single pairs, how they were working with the law of average and playing catch up. The single digits, what positions they fell in, and the front pair and the back pair. The fact is that there's no rhyme or reason why these numbers will be falling and how they're going to fall. Okay? Um, uh, and the fiction is that there's a algorithm or something out there that's going to tell us what number is going to be coming the next day, the next 2 days, the next 3 days, or anything like that. The only thing that has to work, and I don't care what method or system that the lottery system uses, is the law of average. The law of average, even though it's a small percent to help you get in the winner's circle, you can actually use it and know how to use it. Okay? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, new subscribers. Welcome, family. Welcome, viewers. Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about, the facts and the fictions. And if you got, if somebody knows anything different, but like I'm saying, the numbers are random. There's no rhyme or reason why the numbers going to fall, or how they will fall. And like I said, we're making it harder than it needs to be to win because everybody's looking for workouts and tic-tac-toes and date sums and grids that apply to their state when none of that will really apply to your state if all the numbers ain't falling the same in all the states. All the numbers are falling different in all the states. So there's nothing out there, no pattern, no tic-tac-toes, none of that gonna let you know what's coming in your state. Everybody has to do their own tracking for their own state. As simple as that. When they say, well, go back and study and see what the pattern is in your state. There's no pattern. There's no pattern to random numbers that you can find. It just don't exist. It don't exist, really. You might see something and then they say, well, they'll change up the pattern. But it's not really the pattern changing up. It's just the numbers doing what they're doing, working the best they can with the law of average. Because you have 1,000 numbers again. Again, you got 1,000 numbers. And all you're going to get is a third of these 1,000 numbers every year. Because you're only going to get 365 of them. So no pattern and nothing's going to be consistent with these numbers rotating in and out. Okay? So you have to actually track the 1,000 numbers to see what they're doing for your state. A fiction is that numbers bring numbers. No, numbers don't bring numbers. They just falling. You know, it's like say rain brings rain. All the different drops of rain come and cause the rain, or whatever the case may be. I guess that's except I say numbers don't follow numbers. It's just the 1,000 numbers doing what they do in their state. Numbers don't travel from state to state. I mean, they cross patterns as you say, but they don't just travel. Just because a number show up in 4 states don't mean it's gonna hit your state. Might not hit your state for 15 years. The only thing that you can have is tracking the actual 1,000 numbers and seeing what they're doing. And that's the facts. Everybody doing it in their own state to get in the winner's circle. There's nothing else out there, you know, from tracking. And you can't be tracking the actual 1,000 numbers because you can see what they're doing and how they're rotating. If you're tracking the front pair, you can see what the front pair is doing. If you're tracking the back pair of the numbers, you can see what the back pair of the numbers is doing. If you're tracking the individual numbers, you can see what the individual numbers are doing. And if you got the numbers organized in a manner where you can see how they're falling, you'll get in the winner's circle for your state. Like here. This is a strategy. Strategy number 2 for the single pairs. When I'm looking for pairs to play, I'm not using a rundown, a tic-tac-toe, a grid, a date sum, or multiple different strategies to figure out what pairs to play, because I'm tracking the actual 2,710 pairs using this triangle. So any number that missed the previous month, working with I underlined it, and any number missed in the previous month, I know working with the law average, the law average is always playing catch up with itself. So I know that anything I underlined and come out the previous month, 9 out of 10, that number will show up the next month with no guesswork. I don't have to guess it. Okay? This is powerful. Tracking the pairs, and as you see those pairs catching up, hitting, and missing, you start knowing how to use and play your numbers. You'll know how to hit your numbers exact. That's the name of the game, is hitting the numbers exact. Okay? Same here. The numbers here show up as opposites of each other. Once you understand what the opposite is, if you know the number pair and its opposite didn't show up in 1 month, 9 out of 10, one or the other will show up that gives you a 50-50 chance of winning your number. Good morning, Steve. Yeah, your opposite numbers, okay? That's facts. Okay? Like here. Every time a winning number come in, I find out what column that winning number is on right here. Okay? I find out what column is on. Now, by doing that, I always know the actual numbers and what they're actually doing. Working with the law of average. I don't have to guess what they're doing. I know what they're doing. That you're not going to get with the tic-tac-toes, the date sums, the grids, the flips, the mirrors, and all the other strategies that they have out there. You're just not going to be able to see that. So that's what we have to do. We have to be making it harder than it needs to be. It ain't going to be a cakewalk, but at least you know what's going on with the numbers. You're just not going to see it with the other methods. That's why I took 22 numbers, did the 1-1 rundown on the 22 numbers, condensed the 1,000 numbers to make it simple and easy to find out what's going on with all 1,000 numbers. Here, let's see. I don't know, YouTube really. Let me see if I can open this up some. Don't look like it's going to let me. It won't open. I got to see here. Come on. Here are the 22 numbers that I put together. Did the 1-1 rundown on these 22 numbers and condensed all those 1,000 numbers to make it easy for you to find what columns they fell off of. That way you can track the columns. All right. I put the singles. You got 12 numbers right here, which are singles, to make 12 columns. And you have 10, which are doubles, to make 10 columns. That's how you get to 22 columns. Using these here 12 numbers, you got 720 of the 1,000 numbers that you're able to track at a glance. That's facts. Looking at the actual numbers. Same with the doubles. You have 9 of them, which come 3 different ways. Each number. 30 times 9 gives you 270. Plus the triples only come one way, which is 10. So that gives you 1,000 numbers. You got the 720, the 270, and the 10 on the triples. You can't miss them. You always know why you're playing your number. And if you're tracking these columns, you always know what column you missed off of and why you missed off of it. The object of the game that you want to look at is as you lessen the pool of the numbers that you have to play or you have to look at, working with the law of averages. And as you lessening those pools, you'll be able to build a skill set and a strategy off the actual 1,000 numbers. Off the actual 1,000 numbers. Because you can't look at another state and see what's going on in that other state and really it'd be atypical of what's going on in your state. That's why it's really, when you go back and say, look at patterns, that's hindsight. You want to go foresight. Foresight, you'll know if one of these columns, how long it's been since one of these columns hit, and what numbers have hit and not hit off the column. You know how long it's been a pair hit, and what pairs and how long it's been and hasn't hit for your state, because it's not going to be applicable to anybody else's state. You'll know what position the numbers fell in your state day by day. Okay? You'll know what front pair and back pair hasn't hit along the way for your state. No guessing of what pair, front pair and back pair. This is facts. You're working with facts, not fiction. Everything else is guesswork. But the lottery with the PICK-3 has to work off the law average. It has to work off the law average. Let's see. To make sense, when you, like I say, if you play a number like 1, 2, 3, you got to know everything it is about that number when it comes in. You should know what column it fell off of, which you know. You should know what pairs to mark off. You have the 12, the 13, and the 23 again. That's not no guess. That's not a tic-tac-toe. That's not a rundown. That's not a workout. That's not a random. This is what you know. You need to know that before you play any number. You need to know what's going on with it like that. These are the pairs that makes up this number. Okay? Now, another thing you need to know, same way with a double. If say a double is 1, 1, 2, you need to know that pair came in. It'd be 11 pair, 12 pair. Okay? And the same with triples. If it's 0, 0, 0, you have to know that that double pair came in, like that pair came in, the 0 pair came in. You need to know this when you plan and spending your money. You need to take the time out to learn how the numbers are running in your estate. Okay? You need to know what position the numbers fall in. That's why I did this here with. You need to know what positions the numbers fall in without guessing, because this is going to be valuable to you. All right? Whatever, and this is powerful, because when you start using strategies in your state and how the numbers are falling, you'll be able to use this to your advantage. Like I said, you want to know what position, like the 1, 2, 3. You want to know that the 1 fell on the front, and the 2 fell in the middle, 3 fell on the end. And the object of this, if any number that you don't mark off, working with the law average, if a 4 don't hit for the whole month, that next month, more than likely, the 4 gonna fall in the front position, So if you're using a number with a 4 in it, plan a number with a 4 in it, you want to make sure you put that 4 on the front position. Or if you know that it ain't fell in the middle all month, and you got a number with a 4 in it, you want to place it in PICK-3 in that middle position. Or if you got a 4 that ain't played on the end, you want to make sure that you place that 4 on the end position that we in. That's how I hit exact. Because I move the numbers where I know in what position they haven't failed in, instead of just playing the number as it is. Like, let's say it's the 0, 0, 4. I know ain't failed, and I'm playing this. I'll make sure I play it as 4, 0, 0 if I know that 4 ain't played in the front position. And if I know this 4 ain't played in the middle, I'll make sure I play it as 0, 4, 0. This is just a double example. If I know it ain't played on the end, the way I know it played on the end, so I would play it as 4, 0, 0 or 0, 4, 0 if it ain't played in the middle. And I know it ain't played on the front, but it's already on the end. So that's how I would play it. Or any number that you know ain't played, you want to be able to alter the numbers and know why you alter the numbers and not just playing any random numbers. And the front pair, back pair of the number through here like this right here. Like the one, I'm gonna stick with the 1, 2, 3 because it's an easy number I think to remember, and that's why I'm using it. You want to know the front pair and the back pair of that number as you go through the year, and what it does. Like the 12 is the front pair, and the 23 is the back pair. Now I've been asked, if you don't play front pairs and back pairs, or your state don't give you front pairs and back pairs where you can win, is it important to track them? Yes, it's definitely important to track them because that don't change what the law average is going to do. So, for instance, at the end of the year or something, you realize that the 12 on the front didn't fall and the 23 on the back didn't fall toward the end of the year, you might want to pick up 1, 2, 3 and make that your number, especially if you know that the 1, 2, 3 didn't fall all year either. That's how I get in the winner circle. This is what I mean by building a strategy and a skill set. And especially if the opposite number of the 1, 2, 3, like the 6, 7, 8, didn't fall either, that's a definite shoe in. Because the chances, now you got a 50-50 chance of hitting neither one of these, okay? A 50-50 chance of hitting neither one of these. And the likelihood of coming in is great. And not only that, say the 6, 7, 8 come in. But you know, this one here, the front and back ain't played, so you got a better reason to play this one. You'll load up on this one too. You'll put that money back on that. That's how I get in the winner circle. That's how you do it. This 30 years experience, y'all, I'm handing over. Okay? That's how I get it. And I don't get off of that. That's my everyday carry. And it comes in. None of these that I've done like this do not really come in. Don't come in. And if it don't come in that year, I carry it all the way over to the next year. Because the numbers rotate. Those 1,000 numbers rotate from year to year. It takes 3 years to 4 years for all the 1,000 numbers to rotate out. Working with the law average and changing positions and making up all the 1,000 numbers. I hope it, did y'all see that? Making up all those 1,000 numbers. Year to year, you get this here, this third, then maybe 4, then it rotate back over. But mostly 3 years is what you're gonna probably get out of it. Get this third again, and it's gonna keep rotating. Bam, 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 bam. And you got to know that it works like that. You have to know that it works like that. That's facts, not fictions. And this is the only one we can do this on. You can't do it on PICK-4s. You can't do it on PICK-5s. You can't track none of those actual numbers. It's 10,000 on PICK-4 and 100,000 on PICK-5. That's why all I play is PICK-3 and Powerball and Mega Million. That's it. And Mega Million 1 ticket and Powerball 1 ticket every draw. That's all. Same numbers. If it hit, it hit. If it don't, I don't worry about it. Because the odds are astronomical to winning. But PICK-3 has the best odds of all the lotteries. That's why I only put my attention on PICK-3 and my energy. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning. And PICK-3. That's the only thing I do. So, to me, the facts is simple. Everybody needs to track their own numbers for their own state and see what they're actually doing before you can even start to think, to know what you're going to be doing with I mean, every little piece of knowledge that you get, I mean, you might want to just to look into the degrees and the things and the rundowns and the root sums and see if they're kind of applicable. But there's hundreds of different strategies people got on YouTube out here to win PICK-3. But no matter what the strategy is, not going to show you actually what the actual numbers are doing. Okay, can I explain the 1,000? You mean the one with the 22 numbers, Steve? Uh, the 1,000 chart, the why some columns have more sets than others. Let me see if I can see which one. You're talking about the 1,000, the actual 1,000 numbers here? Let me see. Are you talking about this one, Steve? Okay. I don't know, maybe. You on here, Steve? Which one you talking about? The 1,000 that has why some columns have more sets than others? I'm not understanding what you're asking here, Steve. I guess you're still on here, or am I missing something? Or YouTube got things slow. Give you some more time here. When you talk, oh, with there's no reason really, Steve, that this has more numbers or anything. All it is just to demonstrate that I can put the 1,000 numbers on a piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? On one sheet of paper like this. This here, it has no real significance on these columns. You know what I'm saying? There's no significance to that, to this. It's that all of them are on one sheet of paper. So that makes it trackable and teachable and doable. So there's no significance to these columns. That's just to show the 1,000 numbers on one sheet of paper. Yeah, the one I'm showing now. There's no significance to it. The columns on this one. It's just to show that I can put the 1,000 numbers, I could place them on one sheet of paper. I mean, if anybody wants to, I have done that. I just sometimes go through and mark the 1,000 numbers off to see. And what I did with this, that's why I knew it was 3 years almost to mark them all off. Uh, the mark them all off using this sheet. That's the only significance of this. But the column has no significance. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I don't know what they be doing sometimes, but you work with what you got. They really are slow. Yeah, you work what you got. They are slow. Yeah, think that's a good question, Steve. Yeah, that. Want to make sure they knew that there was no significance to that. Appreciate that question very much because I think some people might think there is some significance to it, but it's just that that hey, like I said, you can put that 1,000 numbers on one sheet so you can track it. You know, that's why I put all my energy, and it's been good to me. Um, been good to me, very good. So I'm gonna go through here now, and let's see what else was we doing here. Okay, the front pair and the back pair. Again, we did that. You want to know? I explained the front. You how I use the front pair and the back pair by making them up. If you know that this 12 ain't filled on the front and this 23 ain't filled on the back, that's your number. And I've used it many times to get in the winner's circle, not guessing why I was playing the number. I knew why I was playing the number. The sets I have circled, the sets you have circled are hits from 2025. Yeah, you talking about on here, strategy number two. Yeah, the ones I have circled are the ones from 2025 for strategy number two, the single pairs. Yeah. And the ones that now this double ones came in already. That there was an error on the underlining yet. But anything that's uh, underlined didn't come out in 2024 of December. That way, now when we go through what came in last night, I'll show you where we had the 813 to come in last night. You see, this 13 didn't come in last month. See how the law average catches up with itself over by tracking. The last night was 813. See, the 13 just picked up. The 18 the first time it hit this month, and the 38 first time it hit the month. But you see how it means as you tracking, you see how the law average picked up. So if you willed this 13, you would have got that 183. I mean that 813. See what I'm saying? You wouldn't have been guessing why you was playing that pair. You'd have known why you was playing it. Now we can track them all, but you can't play them all. That's why I say build a bucket list of numbers. A bucket list of numbers. That you always know why you playing your numbers. You won't be doing a tic-tac grid date something every day trying to figure out what numbers to play. You'll be building your actual bucket list of numbers after narrowing down that, hey, I know 13 didn't fall last month. Or I know that 5-5 pair didn't fall last month. Or I know 5-5 pair ain't fell in 2 months. Or I know 5-5 pair ain't fell in 3 months. Or I know 5-5 pair ain't fell in 5 months, 4 months. Or I know 5-5 pair actually, y'all, might not fall for 5 months. But if you're doing this, you don't have no idea what's going on with none of this. To get in the winner circle, if you're doing this, you have no idea what's going on with these pairs. You try to figure a pair, you need to know a pair of what's going on with it. You need to know that 13 pair didn't fall last month. You need to know that 5-5 pair ain't fell in 4 months. You need to know that 6-6 pair ain't fell in 6 months. That's why I circle and do this month to month. So quite naturally, if I know a 5-5 pair ain't fell in 6 months with working with the law average, you know I'm rolling with 5-5 because I'm watching it. I ain't guessing it in my state. Circled in, wait a minute, am I missing something? The 1,000 cheat short. The sets you have circled on the 1,000 cheat short. I wouldn't pay attention to that. I don't have, if I do have something circled on this 1,000 chart, I wouldn't pay attention to anything on that. Like I said, it's nothing of significance on this 1,000 sheet. It has no significance other than showing that the 1,000 numbers can be put on a sheet, one single sheet of paper. It has no significance. It has nothing to do with anything as far as the strategies. If there's some circles on here, I mean, yeah, I probably see it better than I do. I don't see no circles. I see some little, it was some stuff that was underlined here, but that just, came out probably from a previous sheet, but it has no significance. Okay. I think that's what you said in the 1,000 feet chart. But YouTube might be slowing you up. You're probably putting something there, but don't worry about it. I'll explain it along the way. That's all I can say. Because, YouTube do its thing, and I just let it do it, and then I'll just try to work through it. You know? That's why this, I tell you, y'all wouldn't believe what we go through to bring content to everybody, but if it's a job, you take the good with the bad. You just keep rolling with the job. But I love it. I love it because I know it works. Okay, you're welcome, Steve. It works. Okay. Now, see, you ain't guessing nothing, anything, zilch. You can see the forest and not the trees. The forest is seeing that a 5-5 ain't here, and it can happen in 6 months. And if you was playing 5-5 all that time and not tracking and watching and seeing why you would even play 5-5, look at the money you done invested in that number. Or if you played a 13, and 13 can take 4 months. A single pair can take 4 months and not hit. So if you invested in a number with a 13 in it or numbers with 13 in it for 4 months and not knowing why you was playing a number with 13 in it, look at the money you invested. And instead of, if you see that it ain't failed in 4 months, picking it up in month 5 is a greater chance of you hitting it. And especially if you see that, let's say, and it could happen. Look, the numbers run random. Anything can happen. This 13, the opposite of it is 68. A 1 is a 6, a 6 is a 1. A 3 is an 8, a 8 is 3. And you find out that both of these ain't failed for 2 months. You definitely want to play them 2 pairs because not the law average, one or the other is going to come out. And especially if it ain't failed in 2 months together. So you're always looking for the numbers in the opposite. This 1-5, the opposite is 6-0 or 6-0. See, they're the opposite. If you see an 0-6 and a 1-5 ain't failed in 2 months together, you definitely gonna hop on that. You'll build your bucket list off of that. You got something to work off of when you're using the actual numbers. You have nothing to work off here. You have nothing to work off here. Nothing. This is all hindsight. This foresight. Everything here foresight. You have nothing to work off here. So let's get into and I'll show you how easy when the winning number come in, I find out if it's a single or double. If it's a double, I go to this chart, mark it off, bam. Then if it's double, I'll mark it off on the double sheet. Hopefully the double sheet here. I'm just gonna go through this briefly. I mark it off on the double, find the number, bam, I'm done. Then if it's once I do the pairs, if it's a single or double or triple, I mark it off here, bam, I'm done. And then I find out the positions, 0, 0, bam, I'm done. Then I go to the front pair and back pair chart, 0, bam, bam, I'm done. I'm done for the day. I know everything I need to know. I know what all the numbers are doing. I can go and do my honey-do list or walk the dog or do exercise, whatever else I want to do. And you always got in your head what's going on with these numbers. And you're not doing and that's your day. The track, that's your day. So there's no way you can't keep up with the numbers and know what's going on with them. No fancy calculator, no nothing. That's my day for tracking. And any time I want to go back, oh, okay, yeah, the 5-5 didn't fall last month. Okay, if it don't fall in another 2 months, I got my eye on it. I know where to go. I always know where to go and get my numbers to play. Where to go and get the actual numbers I'm going to play. Okay, now we had the 8, and this is how I start the day. You start the day off with the 1-1-1 rundown. That's the only rundown you need because that rundown always gives you the numbers and the opposites in them. That's what created the PICK-3 at a glance. You got the 1-1-1, and 813. Okay? That's the winning number that came in Illinois last night. Okay? Now, you're going to do the 111 rundown on it. Add 1 to this here. That's, you can make in the rundown and in any of these rundowns, and that's what you call a rundown or workout. They can make this number anything they want to add up to get 10 numbers down here to try to figure out what numbers to play the next day. And if you don't know anything about them numbers and you ain't tracking them, you're playing a loser's game. PICK-3 shouldn't be that hard. PICK-3 should be easy if you're tracking them. And I simplified it by putting it on 12 columns where you can easily track them. So here you go with the 8. You're going to add 1 to the 8, you get 9. You add 1 to 9, you get 10. And Lord and math, you're only going to use the 0 on the right-hand side. You won't use the 1. You only look for single digits. That's why they say date sums, root sums, and all those sums. They try to get to the lesser number. So you're going to add 9 to 1. 1 to 9, you get the 0. 1 to 0, you get 1. 1 to 1, you get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. 1 to 3, you get 4. 1 to 4, you get 5. Look, I'm solo on this, y'all. I'm the only one saying track the numbers pretty much with a strategy like this. Everybody else got tic-tac-toe, date sum, flip, mirrors, and other different run-out workouts. This is the only one where you're tracking the actual numbers to win and get in the winner circle and know why you're playing your numbers. 1 to 4, you get 5. So I'm solo. I'm the long range on this. I'm going against the grain. 6, but this will get you in there. I'm telling you. You do it for your own state. 6, 7. Where are we at? This is 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then when you do your line here, you do the 8. You get the 8 at the bottom and the 8 at the top. You add it correctly. Simple 1, 1, 1 rundown. Add 1 plus 1, get 2. All right? Same here. You add 1 to the 1. You're going to just count straight down. You're going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. See how easy that is? Okay? But when they had it really confusing because they were saying do a minus 1 on the number. And what it did, it really was confusing for me. So I just thought out of the box and say I'm gonna add the ones, and I got a straight number down. So you add 1 to 3, and I count straight down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. See how simple that is? You just count it straight down. All right. Now, whenever the winning number comes in, when you do 111 rundown, the base number, which I call the base numbers, are those 22 numbers I showed you. These are the base numbers again. Right here, you'll see that all those base numbers have zeros in them. Okay? So, when you do the, and matter of fact, I'll be leaving these base numbers that you can do the 1-1 rundown pinned in the comments on the videos. I'm pin it in the comments on the videos for you. That way you can find these numbers, do the 1-1-1 rundown on, and you'll have strategy number 1. So if you're following me, okay. For example, 813 hit last night in Illinois. Do you circle the 8-1, 8-3, and 13 pair on both the singles and doubles? Singles and doubles. Now, I would only do that on the singles. Well, you talking about strategy number two, I'm sure. Strategy number two might be getting ahead a little bit here, but not. Okay, strategy. If you this the sheet you're talking about, Steve, right here for the 813 strategy number two. If it's here, I would mark off the 13. See, that's the first time because it's underlined. That it didn't come last month. That's why I got it underlined here. So I would circle off this strategy number two for the single pairs. I would mark off the 13 because it's not a 83 in here. You got an 83. It would be the 38 pair. It'd be the same thing in 38 or 83. But I wouldn't be able to make this triangle if I had all the pairs. You had to switch them off. I'd mark off the 33, the 13, the 18, and the 38. See that? That's for that number. And the 18, the first time it came out for the month, and the 38. Okay. Yep. So now, so here, these are the singles. You do the 1-1 rundown on it just like I did here to get strategy number one. Now, you're looking for one of those base numbers that I just showed you in the rundown. It will always be in there. And here it is, right here is 702. But in the rundown sheet, it's going to show as 027. I made a short earlier for it today. In the workout sheet, it's going to show as 027. All this 027 is, these columns are the same thing with the 1-1 rundown done on them. Like I said, okay? To make up the 22 columns. And it's going to show as 027. Because all these numbers can come 6 different ways. This 027 can also come as 702. It's the same number in essence of the 1,000 numbers. Oh, yeah, right. I got you. Straight, yeah, you're right, Steve. Yeah. Now, 702. But everything's in numerical order. To do it correctly, to make it simple, is 027. You go down, and here you're going to find the 138. Okay, because that's the way that 138 can come out of the 6 different ways it can come. And you circle it. Bam, you're done. Now you know you can build a strategy. You start building a skill set because each month you're going to do one of these sheets, and whatever numbers don't hit, you'll know, or whatever column don't hit for the whole month. Just like I know what single pair don't hit for a whole month, you'll know what column ain't hit for a whole month. Then you got your eyes on this column to pick your numbers from, the less in the pool or the numbers you looking to play. You don't have to go through the grids, the tic-tac-toes and all that, because you're doing all that with actually tracking the 1,000 numbers for your state when you plan. All right? All these numbers are in numerical order. That's why they're like this. But they can come 6 different ways, all of them. All of these numbers can come 6 different ways. That's why each one of these columns represents 60 numbers. That's why you're not just looking at just the 10 numbers. You're looking at 60 numbers. So if you got 2 columns that don't show up, say these 2 columns together don't show up in the month, then you got 120 numbers that you just looking at in 2 columns. Working with the law of average, a number would gonna fall off these columns in 2 months if ain't no number fail in 2 months. See what I'm saying? Now you can build your strategy and your skill set because you know what's going on with the columns and the numbers. That's the power of this. Okay. Also, every one of these columns, well, I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. That's strategy number 1, where you find the single number. Then we want to do again the pairs, like I just marked off with this large sheet here. I mean, with this large sheet of the pairs. I did that because it made it easier for everybody to see a little better, and helps me explain it a little better. But all I did, I made a larger copy, and then here it is the same thing. Like I was saying before, the numbers that's underlined, I know ain't fair for 30 days, and it can be longer. Pairs can not hit for 5 months. So if you say, well, I don't play for the 5-5-5 because you got it in tic-tac-toe or rundown or whatever for whatever reason, and you want to keep playing it, you playing a loser's game because you ain't never know why you was playing it. So now we're going to do the same thing. We know that 13, law average caught up with itself and brought us to 13. We circle it off. And the 18, we know that's the first time it hit for the month. No line under it. No line under it. So that means it hit last month. At a glance, I know that. I ain't guessing that. So I'll circle that one. And the 38, I know it hit last month. I'm not guessing it. So I'll circle it off. Now I know those pairs hit. So what I'm looking for, what pairs don't hit every month. So I know how to build my bucket list of numbers that I'm going to play to win. My lesson in pool of the numbers working with the law average. Because you're going to start finding that these numbers will work with the law average and start catching up. Same way here. The strategy number 3, I do. They tell overdue numbers, or code numbers, and they would look for the single numbers with overdue and code. But that was fine with me. I would use it, but the thing that got me, I didn't know how to use it and what position to use it in, and how I would use it with my numbers. So I made 3 numbers, 3 columns from 0 to 9. Okay, and what I did. Like the 813 that came in, I'd mark off the 8 in the front. The 1, see here, this is the first time ones, if I'm pretty sure, hit all month so far. See what I mean by the law of average catching up with itself, and you can see it. Let me see something here. Let me see something here and make sure so I don't be off track here. And I'm pretty sure I am. I'm pretty sure I keep up with it. But double check your work. And it's simple and easy to do that. Day the 15th. See my calendar? Be OPPB. That's why I say be organized, be patient, be persistent with budget. We got to put the 813 that just came in. Okay, now remember I was showing you. Now see, at a glance, I could tell that the ones hadn't filled all month with no number. At a glance, I know that. See that? Oops, the 221. It fell on the end. I must not marked it. See what I mean? You can easily track your work too, all at a glance when you're not sure about something. Now let me go back to this, because it should have been marked, and I didn't mark it. Now let me go back to this, and you're working with actual stuff. So I know that. Okay, so the 221, I must have. Okay, the two had been hit on the front, and now I know the 221, and I mark it here. So that it had hit for the month, just that one. So right there and there, I knew that's her. But I knew something where the one had hit because the 221 I knew had hit. So now I mark off the one in the middle, and I mark off the three on the back. See how I caught that? You do the same thing. You do the same thing because you'll start remembering the numbers. I used to remember. I used to could tell you what number fell on what day last month. I can't do that no more. Probably can tell you how many times I can't do that stuff no more, y'all. That's long gone. I'm 73 years old. I'm writing my name in the middle of my hand. So when people ask me what's my name, I say, Daddy, here it is. And then I hope and pray I don't forget that I wrote it in the middle of my hand, man. I'm telling y'all. Yeah. Like my mama used to say, getting old is nice, but it's just so daggone inconvenient. Okay, back where we was at, y'all. My mama used to say that all the time. Getting old is nice, man, but it's just so daggone inconvenient. Yeah, it is, and she ain't never told no tale. All right, and so that's that, and the way uh, I won is I found 38 pair hadn't failed in 128 days. I knew how to use it because I was tracking everything that went along with it to win. Same way here. Sevens hadn't failed with no number for 2 months. Hadn't failed. Hi, young L.A. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you with us. Hadn't failed with no number for 2 months. No rhyme or reason to how these numbers gonna fall and what they're gonna do. The only thing you have is the law of average and tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. Who would have thought a seven don't fall with no number for 2 months? But when I found that, I played triple sevens and I caught them. And then and they had double sevens coming too. So I mean, you have a strategy you can build with this. You'll know why you're always playing your numbers. Okay. Now the front pair and the back pair. There's no rhyme or reason to why these numbers fall in at random. And if you ain't tracking them, you're playing a losing game. The actual numbers. Now, here, front and back pair again. You want to know the front and the back of any number that played. So you got the 8-1. This is the first time I know pretty much that it fell for the whole year because this is the beginning of the year. So you do the 81 on the front. These numbers are the same, top and bottom. And the 18 on the back. Is that right? Am I getting this right? I ain't even looking in here to make sure it's right. Hey, Young Hawk. Okay, hold on a minute. I answered that question. Rank the 8-1, and then the 1-3 on the back for the year. No guesswork. Young Hawk, I really don't play triples. Triples is not what I really play, but I do have a strategy to winning the triples. One main strategy I have that I don't play no triples all year, or look to play them pretty much until December and November and December, and that's pretty much if no triple has fallen all a year, pretty much. But if I'm tracking something, and that's pretty much like, see here, Young Hawk, with this front pair and back pair, if I see that double zeros, which can happen, didn't fall all year on the front, and double zeros didn't fall on the back all year, and no triples fell for the whole year, So triple zero is going to be my main triples to play. Because working with the law average, that's the number that's going to come in. Because that front pair going to mate up with that back pair. That's why I track the front pair and the back pair to see what numbers I can mate up with the front and the back pair as the year goes on. This is a summary sheet for the year. But other than that, I don't just play triples to play triples. Triple eights, the reason why I'm playing triple eights, and I don't know whether you've seen it on the my channel, for last year and this year, is because tracking using the actual numbers, 8-8 up right here didn't fall on the front for the whole year. Didn't fall on the front for the whole year up to December. Now the 8-8 on the back only fell once in January for the whole year. For the whole year. Okay? So I put triple eights in play. I also knew by tracking, using my strategy, that 8-8 pair, 8-8-1, 8-8-0, 8-8 nothing. Congratulations, Texas, if you did. Nothing had played for almost from July up to December. So that was a dead ringer for triple H. But I know that I'm against the grain because triple by the law average, because we had 4 triples to fall last year on evening. It was the 5s, 6s, 7s, and the 9s. I hit the 9s, but I played them before because I had the same strategy. 4-4 and 9-9, which are opposite numbers of each other, hadn't played for 3 months. But there's a strategy to winning triple, but I really don't focus on triples all that much. But I mean, you can win, but I usually don't look at even doing anything with them unless none then fail always for the whole year up to November and December. That's my theory with triples. Oh, you're so welcome. All right. Yeah. But like I say, if you got a 0-0 and a 0 back ain't fail in your state for the whole year and triples ain't fail, just call me. I'll play them for you if you don't play them. But that's how I play it. I don't play them triples. They're too hard to hit. You only get 3 out of a year if you get that on average. I don't do triples. I used to, but I don't do them no more. And all the triples I play, I hit pretty much. Now those 8s, I got them until the end of this month. Then I'm gonna go back to the theory that I was telling you about, because I know I'm working against the law average, so I know more likely they might not come in when I'm expecting them to. So that's as far as I'm gonna put my investment into the triple 8s for this month. Then I'm off of them. If they come, they just come. But you got to have a stopping point, and you got to know how and when to stop. And the only way you're gonna know that is tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. The only way you're gonna know when to drop a number and pick up a number is if you know why you picked up the number anyway in the first place. Okay, now one other thing I have to show you about these here. These numbers, the one thing I like about this 1-1 rundown, anytime you do the 1-1-1 rundown on any numbers, any single number, it will always in that rundown give you that number and its opposite. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, the numbers and its opposite. Say you take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to build your number line. You're going to add +5 to these top numbers to get the bottom number. So it's +5, the 0 is 5, 1 is 6, 2 is 7, 3 is 8, 4 is 9. So now you have all your 1,000 numbers in this number line because the top numbers is triple zeros to 499, and the bottom numbers are your 500 to your 999. Now, what you have here, a 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. Now, a lot of people call them mirrors and sister numbers and everything like that. I was using mirrors, but I might say it interchangeably every now and then, but it's just a slip because I'm trying to get away from that term mirror, because everybody used that term mirror to make it be and do whatever they wanted to do, or the term opposites and flips and stuff like that. But with PICK-3 at a glance, my strategy that the numbers are actually opposite of each other. For instance, if you play 0, 1, 2, and the lottery played 5, 6, 7, 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 is directly opposite the opposite of the 1,000 numbers. 0 is a 5, 5 is opposite 0, 1 is the opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2. See, they directly under each other, split in half. Same thing if you played the 7, 8, 9, and the lottery played the 2, 3, 4. The 7, 8, 9 is directly opposite the 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you played 1, 1, 2, and the lottery played 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7 is directly opposite the 1, 1, 2. Or you played triple zeros, and the lottery played triple fives, that's direct opposite. You got 9, 3, 2, 5 times yesterday. Well, congratulations, Young Hawk. Congratulations. Now, okay. So that's direct opposite numbers of each other. So there's no confusion when I say opposite, because if I say mirror, everybody got a different term or idea what mirror numbers are, what flip numbers are, things like that. But I actually say opposite number. Now, and the beauty of this 111 rundown is, like I say, in the columns, it always got its number and opposite in it. 1 minute, y'all. Grandkids didn't go to school today, so I got to quiet them down a little bit. Mike, come on, live. Alrighty, got that done. It's 3, 6, 8. 9, 2, 4. The opposite of it is 4, 7, 9. This 0, 3, 5. The opposite of it is 5, 8, 0. This 1, 4, 6. The opposite of it is 6, 9, 1. This 2, 5, 7. The opposite of it is 7, 0, 2. Okay? That's what created this picture of the glass sheet. Each one of these columns, the singles and the doubles, have the opposites to them. So at a glance, you'll always know what number and its opposite didn't fall. That's powerful, playing PICK-3. Because if I got a column here that I've been tracking, and I know that off of that column, say up to March, and no column. Let's say no column falls off this. Nothing. No number falls off this. Not no number, but let's say a, uh, January, a few numbers fall off this column. Then February, March, no numbers fall off this column. But the numbers that did come off this column might be 3 numbers hit this column. And then after that, don't hit for 2 months. Then you're going to play whatever number and its opposite that didn't fall, because then you got a 50-50 chance of winning it. If you don't play the whole column. Usually what happens like that, if I got a column I know and hit in 2 months or 3 months, I'll pick that column up, play a 50-cent box. And then the numbers that I know that the number and its opposite in play, I play heavier, invest heavier on those numbers. That's how you get in the winner circle. Because more than likely, something's going to hit off that column. Just what, I don't know. But I know working with the law average, in 3 months, that column will hit. And some of these columns can take 3 months, 4 months. Doubles can take 5 months or longer to hit. But you'll know what columns it was that didn't hit. Because doubles are the hardest to hit. Well, triples, then doubles, then your singles are the best ones to play. But last year, the first number for last year in the evening was the 616. And no number fell off that column for up to almost 5 months. So if you was playing any of these numbers, they didn't hit for 5 months. This is what you have to know. You can't be guessing at this to get in the winner circle. And that's what the PICK-3 class does. All right. I think that much covers it. Any more questions? Glad to have you with us, Young Hawk. All righty. I know this may say things, or this chat is running slow for some reason, so I'll give it a little bit more time. But the facts are, you have to track the actual 1,000 numbers. You have to see the fours and not the trees. And the facts are, if you just applying the grids, you're looking at the trees. The root sums, you're looking at the trees. The date sums, you're looking at the trees. The tic-tac-toes, you're looking at the trees. The multiple different other rundowns, you're looking at the trees. If you ain't including all this, what I just showed you with the 1,000 numbers, you're looking at the trees. You're welcome, Young Hawk. So I'm going to be live tomorrow again at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. So like I always say, family, play them till they come, make that money, y'all. Peace and love. God bless. And if you're tracking, you'll soon be packing to Lucky Town.